Hi, Mario. Welcome to Resolve.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule and agreeing to do this podcast with us. I'm excited to actually speak to you. You'll be the first musician that I'm interviewing for the podcast, and really, I'm very curious and eager to understand how you've built your career and what people out there can expect in terms of if somebody is interested in building a career in music, then how they can go about it, what are some of the challenges, and what are your success stories, and what brings you happiness at the end of uh, at the end of composing something or at the end of an event. Could you please just talk to us about your life? Who is Mario? We'd like to understand who Mario is. What is Mario's passions? What are your hobbies? And small
Yeah.
brief about yourself.
Well, first thing, thank you, Sandy, for considering me for your podcast, and I'm very glad and happy, the joy, to speak about, music, and just to introduce to myself. So my full name is Mario Naveen Steven. So they just call me Mario because it's a very interesting name uh, because Super Mario. So all thanks to Uncle, he was so obsessed with that game, and that's where I got my name. And yeah, so music was. I'm a bass guitarist, as you can see. All my ladies behind, and this is my expertise in terms of my instrument, which is bass. And it's always been there in our family music, where my grandpa used to play tabla, you know uh, harmonium and things, and we eventually started singing, gospel songs and in church, and eventually, the music was growing, you know and from there, yes, I had this a crush towards playing guitar after when I saw my cousin when he got his guitar and he was playing, and I was so fantasized about the sound and you know how to hold it. You get that joy of playing that instrument, and all this happened during my college time, where I broke my collarbone, and that's where my dad is like, "You're not getting bike, but I'll get you a guitar." And that's where I took that guitar, and from there it's been always with me. From there, yes, in college bands that we played, and after that, in corporate, I used to work in corporate for some time. But wherever I go, I used to get connected with only musicians. I don't know; it's a God's way of leading my path. And we had a corporate band, and we played from rock. That's what the old school that we bought it from, rock, then country, then slowly into the blues and pop songs. Then eventually, I like it's a call from above. When I was working in an IT company, I just got this call saying that, hey, you know what, you should start music. And that's where I didn't even think, twice. I just put down my paper. Then I started my the career as a full-time musician. And that's where, I met a lot of amazing, musicians. I played with them. I learnt with them and explored the whole world of music by by looking into different artists, and that's where somewhere I felt to be humble, because there is so much. I'm just a drop in the ocean, but then there is so much to do. And that's where, but at the same time, the joy of playing, like, it doesn't matter which venue, how much they pay and all that, but just go and play my heart out. And that's where it became as a uh, like full time, like a musician. And yeah, practice was something I got so addicted to it. Like without practice, there is nothing. You can't move forward. And and eventually, I got into teaching. Then started doing few workshops, then also like teaching in corporates, though I was working in corporate, then started teaching the corporates. And it brings and I learned a lot as I teach. I learned a lot. And at the same time, looking at those kids, the way they ask me questions, that's where I'm like, okay, I need to get back and do my homework. And I did. And yeah, it's been fun so far. And I've been like eventually venturing out to different kinds of music to know the genre which I am easy to express. And that's where I got stuck right now with funk and jazz and blues and yeah, pop and something very interesting. I love all kinds of music, but these are the ones which I am easy to play or easy to express things. And uh, and this is what I keep telling my student. And just to give you know uh, just to give a little bit about how they need to look at music altogether. When I chose or when I identified myself, uh, what genre that I belong, it's just like a language, right? Like we know so many language, we choose the language which we are comfortable in talking, right? And as I chose, and I think the practice showed how I am. And that's where a lot of enquiries to play with different bands, and it was such an amazing thing. And over a period, I also so humbled, and I was also so thrilled to play with very known artists in Bollywood or in film industry. One of them was with Hariharan sir, where we just played like one or two songs. Hariharan, then Lucky Ali. Um, I'm sure they won't remember me, but then I played with them. Then also shared stage with Kunal Ganjawala. I didn't know who's this Ganjawala, but then later, oh, he sang this song. Then I played with him. Then after that, I also shared stage with Farhan for a fundraising some event, and KK also that we shared. The music was good, everything was good, but somewhere my genre was haunting me to be there. So I switched and I you know got into this genre, and I saw like amazing, beautiful people that I met and I learned and I played with them. Like to name few, which is Gerard Machando, sir, then Karthik Mani, uh, then with I right now currently I'm playing with Rex Rosario, uncle. We are like a family, which is amazing. And yeah, everybody, like these are like very known people in Bangalore. But apart from that, like my cats, like I say, Ashwin or Shruvankar or Ignatius, Joe, John, David. There are so many of them. They're all like amazing to play. Even Sanket and all of them.
When you're not performing, when you're not making music, what else do you do? What are your hobbies? How do you?
Oh yes, that's a lovely question. I love that question because just to music. Okay, let me answer. So, when I don't do music, one I do is cycling, which I love. You would have seen my house. I do cycling. Then I go to gym. I love. I started loving gym from past 2 3 years now. You don't have to put be a Arnold or Jay Cutler. No, I just want to be fit and sweat out so that I feel good. End of the day, Then then yeah, trekking is something I always like once in a while. Then riding, I love to ride. Just take the bike, just go somewhere. There's no fixed destination, just whatever comes in your mind. Okay, let's go to Madhur or wherever. Riding is another thing. Then I want to pick up next year. So for me, it's like every year I pick up one activity which I love to do. I think next year is swimming that I want to. I know a bit, but not. I want to learn like completely professionally. Not even professional. At least if somebody draws me off in the ocean, at least I should try to survive that. Then even some MMA that I want to do. Then yoga is what I did before, and yeah, listen to watch some stupid, movies or some series suggested by my kids, my students, where they say like, "Sir, you need to watch this Japanese anime and all that." I love to watch this anime shows. Then I love to play with my nephew, go for a walk, and those things which I do. And yeah, whatever activity. Once in a while, yeah, just get out, just take a walk in the nature. Like I stay pretty close to Bangalore University, so it's kind of a mini forest. So just go in the morning, just sit under a wood, under a tree. Probably I'm sounding like a Buddha, but then it gives me peace, like kind of a thing. And yeah, like just get out sometime, go watch, just see the city, how busy people are in their life, and see some party places, but not much into all that, just once in a while, which just
Yeah.
shake a bit, just see, like what's going on. And travel, yeah. Travel is something which now I'm got hooked on to. So that's why, I don't go anywhere, so that I can save up some money and make a small trip to anywhere, you know so travel is a thing. In in music, these things are important. As in, music, when you play, it shows what person you are. So if it has to show what kind of a person you are, then you should know what are the things that you are into apart from music. Right? It's an experience. Life is an experience. And you do swimming, there's some ideas that you get, right? Just get out of this four corner and try to do something. Go, you know see the sunlight, see the blue skies, feel the fresh air. Everything is an experience, and that's where music, any music for that matter, anybody who plays, it's not. That's why, I said artist study is very important, because music doesn't come from an instrument, it comes from a person. So that person, about his life experience, is what he's talking as a story, right? And that's where it becomes so important, that I keep telling to myself that have fun and enjoy your life to a fullest, and do things what you love to do, and connect with people that you vibe and you connect. And others is just noise. All others are noise. Um, but then, music comes from all your experience, right? Even if you're like anything for that matter, that's where having a life is more important, and having fun and enjoying apart from whatever your profession. That's all. It's an experience to experiment on your instrument, where you put across your story. So those are the things which keeps me going.
So you've partly answered my next question, but I'm going to ask that question
Please.
anyways. What drives you in exploring these different things? You said next year you've decided you're going to learn swimming, and
Yeah,
then after that you said it's going to be yoga
yoga,
and
MMA. Yeah.
MMA next.
So I'm a person where I can't be idle. Okay. And something which I learn, there is uh, like I want to learn. There's so many things involved. Say for example, if I want to do swimming, I have that fear. So I had this huge anxiety issues during COVID time, and one of my good friend who's a doctor, Dr. Shivdev, it's like Matrix. You want red pill or a blue pill, and he's like, you want to get well with the the pill, or you want to change your lifestyle. So I'm like, I will choose changing my lifestyle, and that made a huge impact of what I am today. So waking up in the morning, doing all my things. So that fear was something that I want to get out of it. Something I don't want to be like, hey, you will get drowned. You don't have to do. I'm like, no, I wanna go out and just get the thing out of me. So like that is one thing. Second thing is exploring what requires in terms of skills, in terms of understanding how that whole thing works, so that I can implement somewhere in my music also.
Okay.
In one is for sure, fear. The second is about learning the skill sets, what is there in that, and pushing your mentally and physical thing, how much you can do, how much your body and your mind can really, really like push to be there. You don't have to be like professional, but then you get an idea of like your body and your mind, where it goes, where it stands. I think that's an amazing thing. And when I get to know myself, how it works for me, I'm like, oh, not bad, man. I need to do something, even better, or even something which is much more adventurous or thrilling. So that's where, every year, like, okay, I did this, okay, next year I think I can do that. Okay, not professionally, but just learn and be in that level that I know that my mind and body works that way. So again, in that, it's a joy. I mean, I know it's kind of hard work there. Nothing comes easy, but
Absolutely.
it's fun. I that drives me to learn new things, and it can be from anybody. It can be even from you, like the way that's why I was asking, like, how do you do it? And my mind works that way. Like that, there are many musicians, and I ask them like middle of the night when I'm doing something, like, man, there's something which I can't understand. Tell me, how did you do this? How did you play like that? So in that way, yeah, that drives me to take up new task or new activity, just to make sure my brain cells don't die this
Okay.
early.
Very interesting. The analogy of the blue pill and the yellow pill.
Yes.
I mean, the red pill and the blue pill. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, do you want to change your life, or do you just
Yeah,
want to?
just be there.
Yeah, yeah. And this is something that this I could relate to what you shared, especially the fear part. So somebody told me this a few years back. They said, "Do what fears you the most, and the death of fear is certain."
Oh,
And
yes.
and that's when I started to actually explore different things, starting to get out of my comfort zone.
Is that true? Isn't like so? It gives you so much of thrill to like face the fear, and after that, hey, that's nothing, man. I mean, it's cool.
Absolutely. I mean, when I'm thinking of doing something new, the anxiety and the doubt, the self doubt, and the nervous energy that is built up inside of
Yeah,
me, and it's all just in my mind. My mind makes up such a big deal out of something so small that I realized it was something so small. Once I do it, after a few times of doing it, I realized, did I sweat over this so much? And like you said, the
true,
joy of
true.
actually seeing it through
Yeah,
is very different.
yeah,
And even if they're struggling with these things, just give it a go. Just try it out, and then you'll experience these things yourself.
absolutely.
I mean, just the smile on his face and my face itself says that it is how it is. So thanks for pointing that out. I had a follow up question with the music part. So initially, so when we talk of building a career in music, there are only few things that come to the mind. One would be, okay, he's probably the film industry, or drawing a concert, or people who play the instruments in a wedding, or these are limited understanding of somebody who does not have a
Full
good
knowledge.
understanding about the field. But then you went on to say that you can make jingles, you can have podcasts, you can
Yeah.
do various things. So could you just touch up a little bit more about that?
So first you understand you're doing music, you're having fun, all other things will attract you. And to do that, right, there are a lot of, to answer to your question now, there are a lot of forums, there are a lot of, we are living in a digital world right now, right? Even if you're having, like in production, like in film production, there's a lot of opportunities. Again, there is a risk part as well, but there's a good part as well. You need to study before getting into that film industry, because it's a totally a different ball game. And that's on a production side. So on on the same production, you can do jingles, you can do BGM, like background scoring, and also you can try working on doing for the serials, the series that you get. So there are different, what do you say, opportunities in the film, or you say this industry as such, entertainment industry. The second thing is about, you don't want all that, but I want to do music like my music. In that way, you always have different medias like Spotify. You just compose, you just put it up on Spotify, and you need to do a digital marketing there. So again, there are expertise who are good in digital marketing, and you put across by doing a video. And also, like on YouTube, there are different, medias that we can do, and also samplings that we say. Samplings are like you can just compose like for 10 seconds kind of a sampling that you can sell out. That also, you have a different website for that, where you can upload, and you can get paid for it on number of downloads and things like that, like plugins that we say, right? So those kind of a thing also that you can do. And after that, yeah, in digital, again, there are, like doing, ads, like jingles, what I said, you can do like that. And also like, playing as a session player, for some. These days recording, not many people, because you get these samplings and they do it. But yeah, you can also, find an opportunity there, but it's a very thin line over there. But otherwise, and also performance is something, your music sounds good, then your own music, just go there and just play. It doesn't matter if it is, you need like 100 people, or thousands of people. Even if it is 20, 30 people, just play. The joy that you get, just do that. So in that way, there are many schools as well. Like if you take Berkeley, or you take Trinity, or MI, or LCM, all these schools also have their certification in terms of doing music certification. Then at the same time, you get also hired, or they give a career path in terms of doing that. And yeah, those are the things which I always been thinking about. But even maybe, eventually, like coming year, I'm thinking to explore even more into that part of it. There are a couple of friends of mine who are just like putting up on Spotify, and they get quarterly like a good amount of money. But then yeah, it's spreading, and that's where you get different shows and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Can you talk to us about your professional life? How your career, your professional career started, and how you've made this switch to music later on?
Yeah, so my career started way back in, like just as a musician, like I was playing guitar through my school and my college, and after that, corporate, as I said. Then, like we had corporate bands and all, and we formed a band called 21st Fort, I guess, something. Yeah, and we used to do this practice and all. But somewhere, within me was haunting to take this as a full time. That fear which I was talking about, which was always there, because there was some kind of pressure, or I would say society pressure, or peers pressure and all that. I wasn't able to push or break that barrier. But there was a time when I saw, like, the band like Deep Purple or Scorpions, and when I started watching all these big bands when they came, who are like my god, I was just manifesting, and I was just imagining, man, one day I want to play like that. I want to just play. I want to perform. And I think this thing went on chanting in my mind, and I think at one point somebody saw me playing. So this guy walks up and he's like, "Hey, do you want to play for my band?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And that's where that band was so amazing, people. And I eventually, like, I have to like take that risk and take that call. But the call came from God. uh, I think without his motivation or his call, I wouldn't have been a musician.
Yeah.
Right, that inner voice or something,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But I always tell, and that's where my full-time music career started, when I started playing with a band, like with this person called Michael, then Nick Mull, then again Karthik Mani, then Jata Veda, and 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 couple of them. Then after that, yeah, uh, I mean, it was not that fancy kind of a thing, but yeah, we all had these ups and downs, but got stabilized very much when I started practicing like hours together. I don't even see time, but when I get tired, I just take a break. But that's what helped me to venture out. And my cousin, we had this four plus jazz band, so I played with him. Then I got connected with a couple of people. Then it's unstoppable now. So the career went on and on, uh, like playing with a lot of different artists. And I think this was way back, I would say, like about 20 years, or yeah, about 20, 21 years back is what it all started off.
Okay.
And I met in between some good musicians, good people, and I just took what was good for me, and rest, I'm like, and it all helped me out to be what I am today. And still, like looking forward to play with lot of different artists and different musicians. Maybe eventually, the time when it
Yeah.
comes, it will connect.
Yeah. So before you made the switch to music, what were you doing before that?
My dad is from army. I'm an army kid, so never ever followed his rules, and no rules kind of an attitude. But then he was a person who really like supported me and my mom as well. So we've been like traveling throughout India, because dad was in army and all. And even in army, there was a band, like army band, right? They were like amazing, playing this retro English and film songs, all. I think, dad was very, because he was in army, so he could see that my son also will learn, do science, and eventually get into army. But it didn't happen that way, nor he was disappointed. As a BCom graduate, I started working in not IT. First started with marketing for some time. Then after that in promotional events. Then after that got into an IT. Uh, I worked in a couple of companies where again I'm a person who doesn't want to be idle. Okay, I'm doing 9 to 6 job, I'm getting my salary, okay, I'll stop here. No, I was like, okay, let's get into the route. Let's see, what's next after this. So with that, I did my PGDM from IIT Delhi in supply chain and logistics management, which helped me to get a job in Intel as a lab manager. It was all good, but again, music was somewhere it was haunting. Yeah. So the IT job was there, mostly into supply chain and logistics management, and it was fun. Again, I every quarter was like a spot award. Like there was I still have like so many certificates, but those are just like certificate now. But it was thrilling, the challenges. And I worked also in a manufacturing unit for some time, just very very short time. uh, but yeah, it was a good fun to see the whole manufacturing unit. And also being in R&D department in Intel, like like 5 years what that they're going to launch. I was seeing like those things happening, and it was amazing experience.
Okay. Financially, were you independent when you were in IT? In the sense, were you doing well?
Oh yeah, my whole speedometer was like full on top notch.
Yeah. So then the reason I asked for that question is now you're in a good company, your pay is good, so there's financial security, and now you've made that switch. You've decided you're moving to a completely different career in music where there's uncertainty, not sure where your paychecks are going to come from. First question is, did you consult with family before this decision? Did you have a conversation with your family?
No, it was totally my inner instinct. But I did my homework. Understanding money was like one thing in my money was nothing. What matters is the joy and the passion that I want. So when I was in IT, I was following money, but I reversed that formula by doing what I love to do. Let the money come according to it. No force. Um, yeah, so I took this decision, and it was quite tough because in IT you get a good paycheck because it's huge company that I worked in, one of the fortunate companies. And and when you see that switch drastically, it's like zero balance. But then it taught me a lot, uh, because when I was in IT itself, I used to do a bit of research in terms of like, okay, if I have to make this switch, okay, where am I going to get this money from, or how am I going to sustain or pay my bills, and buy my gas, or things like that. In that way, when I made like when I was in IT, so I did bit of research, like, okay, one standard income, something that I can. And that's where teaching was something, but then I was not even eligible during that time. All I did was just practice to do a lot of shows, right? That's the only source of income that time. And when I made this switch and took this decision, I just told my my dad. Like my dad always, "What are you doing in life?" I'm like, "I want to do music." So my dad is like immediately, "Oh, you're going to become music director?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to be a musician, not a music producer or a music director, nothing." And he was like, okay, if that's your choice, you do it. By He didn't put any army rules on me that time, but he said only one thing is like, take care of yourself and take care of, you know, your house, and apart from that, nothing else. So that was like kind of the responsibility that he gave me. And I think he's the first person who said, do whatever you want to. And that's where I got that uh, what do you say, uh, energy to push myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the when I made the switch, right? So everything just came on my, like on my shoulder, like, oh my god, that panic attacks, like, what am I going to do? And there's a lot of personal life imbalance. There's so many things which was going, but the only thing is, when you love something, you'll never give up on it. And that is something which drove me and kept going. And I think it took me like about an year or two, but in this year or two was my most amazing time, because that's where uh, my mindset, my personality, my way of thinking, my way of working towards my profession, everything changed. Because IT is, you get into a company, then you go on. But here it's not like that. Every day you need to work. And that's where my brain was, like, my brain was like, I can't settle for something which is very stagnant or monotonous thing. I want to keep doing, keep learning more and more, get some challenges, and go to the roots, basically go to the roots. And even today, and I felt like, okay, music is like never ending, and I love this
Yeah.
because it's infinity. And that's where that decision came. And yeah, after that year or two, I think everything came back to normal, and life has been amazing and beautiful so far.
Okay. So, a couple of things. So, you mentioned that when you were making that switch, there was a lot of anxiety, so fears. How did you deal with those fears at that time?
Okay. That fear was, as I told you, right? Um, like many people follow money, right? If I switch the other way around, that means I need to work on myself. So I used to write down things, to do list. Okay. If I want, say, like, if I want to earn, like, say, some number, right? Like 10,000 or something, or 50,000. What should I be doing? And what should I need to do? And the things that I have to learn, and, all those things. So when I did that, and I think eventually, that's where those yearly activities that I took, okay, music is there in this four corner, but then I need to have my life. So I started doing cycling and all that. And that, I think, which helped me to become mentally strong, because where I felt this is not the end of life, but I was looking at the brighter side, like, wow, now is the life that I can do what I want to do without like reporting to any manager, or there's no pie chart, there's no conference call, there's no auditing, there's nothing. So it's all about me. Then that's where a couple of my friends, they started I'm a very open minded person, where I ask my friends, or I'll tell them, like, you can be very honest with me in terms of where how I'm playing, or you can always suggest me, like how, like a mentor, you can be like my mentor anytime. And that's where all these lovely musicians or a person that I've met, they all were like, hey Mario, I think you need to do like this, you need to. So all these things I need to write, like, I used to write it down and work on it. And eventually that anxiety, or that fear, I never had time for that, because there were so many things that I wanted to learn. I never had time for that. And I came from zero. like in terms of support, like money wise, right? Financially, dad also is like, I've given you education, hereafter use your brain and do it. He's like a green beret kind of a attitude. And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, I've given you a roof, that's the max. Remaining you figure it out. And I was pretty happy that whatever he said made me to, you know, think like, okay, I can do these things. So what I'm good at, I did it better. What I was weak, I didn't really think about it, but eventually I know that weakness can be better.
Yeah.
You know, when you know you can run for 5 kilometers and you get tired. So that means, okay, I think if I put on some more, you know, like some energy drink or whatever, like pre-workout thing, then I think I can push from 5 to 6. So it went on like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where those anxiety never came.
Okay. So that's vision to so that you know where you're going, feedback to keep bettering yourself,
Yes.
and interest so you're not preoccupied with your fears. So these three basically is what helped you
Yeah,
those
yeah.
initial 2 years.